of my friends say, girl, you better take care.
Good evening, everyone. Once again, welcome to Steph Community. And today is another big day of news, people. It's not stopping anytime soon. President Trump is hitting back hard. And he's hitting them with the big void. James Coleman is working on the auto pen and stopping it. And Trump also has Scott Bassett working on tax credits. Will be cut off to all 182 billion illegal migrants for child tax credit. It says there's no room for illegals in the American financial system. And the big thing that Trump is boarding out is Biden's auto pen. Half these people were signed up illegally to get by with their crimes. And as of today, it is no more. Shows by them cutting out the tax credit for illegal immigrants on all these kids getting child services and checks is going to eliminate jobs for Americans in hospitalization in certain areas. But the money for Americans will be massive. Biden's 162 executive orders, 745 proclamations, 382 presidential rulings, all null and void. Even Supreme Court Ketanji Brown Jackson is caught up in this legal fiasco. Her job, which was signed by Biden, is looming in the wings. Only federal government can get away with this, people, exempting the taxes from Americans. But Trump and Bassett and Elon are on the terror. They're here to stop the Deep South from hurting and subtracting funds from the Americans no more. Trump say the biggest thing and the only thing he's worried about is America first, baby. And that is it. America first. Whether you like it, hate it or not, over 80 million people have voted for Trump to do the do as he's doing. And I think it would take only a president like him to turn it around. Elon is dropping bombs on senators, leaking information on Doge. Susan Collins says she gave money to the Navy, over $12 billion for more submarines. The Navy didn't get one extra submarine. They were brought in for questioning at a hearing in Congress, and they were asked about the $12 million. Where did it go? And they said they didn't know. And that was the end of it. Cash Patel, Donald Trump, Cash Patel, Joe Bonnet, Gino, said crime and murder rate, even though we got a lot of it, has fallen to the lowest it's ever been. And people are starting to respect and fear FBI, CISA, ICE, as they should, because Donald Trump is creating law and order. And y'all are mad in America about this because you've gotten away so long about it. Cash bails, all gone. No criminal in the coming months will be able to create a crime and be out that night. It won't happen. That was happening so much, people didn't care about going to jail. They taunted the cops. No more. And that's what it takes to do that. In the olden days, like I told you, we didn't have this kind of problem in law and order. Even Wayne Ivory and Sir Grady, you see how their cities are run because they believe in law and order. And people are flocking there. People have done their homework, as I tell you, always do. Do your due diligence to get yourself educated and smart. Don't take people's word for nothing. And they've studied. Polk County, these little areas are overflowing with people coming. Why? Because there's protection. Another great thing Trump has done, he's halted all decisions for asylums to be carried out. So if you get here to America, you can't bother me. That doesn't work no more. You'll be prosecuted to the fullest. It is all about Americans. Trump's had it. He hasn't told Republicans to strike against Democrats like y'all have. Biden has. Kamala has. Shifty Schiff has. Jacqueline Crockett has. That's all y'all know. There's no reasoning in coming to the table. And then when you do want to reason something out, let's have a backdoor conversation, a back office, away from the American public. And then we'll come out and tell them what we decided on and what it's going to be. That's the mentality of hard-working people. And you saying, Nancy Pelosi, Schumer, that you control their money. And Trump said it right on TV. It's called transparency. American people will know what's going on. Trump is very upset. A very young, innocent woman has lost her life just doing a job. And he's ticked. This is all transpiring over the gruesome murder of the National Guardsman. From now on, all Afghanistans not welcome. These people will be vetted and screened in every degree possible. The USCIS, Joe Edlow, the safety of the American people comes first. This is 100% what 80 million people have voted for. To have lawlessness afraid of the law, and they'll think twice before they do. The rulings of shooting people, burning people, cutting people, stabbing people, in a literal sense of taking advantage of taxpayers, the programs I mentioned earlier about SNAP Medicaid, Medicare. All of these crimes, low blue collar and high hatred crimes, will be dismantled. No more will we have countries like, or people like the Somalians, Ilhan Omar, Tampon Tim. They're not taking, they're actually excavating money out of America by alarming rate, working on the kids, talking about autism. And they are committing deep, egregious crimes, robbing us of every single dollar. These people, Trump's right, shouldn't be here. You don't like America, you don't want to be in America, you can't stand America, you burn it, the American flag, then get out. Simple as that. Don't stay here and absorb all the qualities and the goodness of America. Same time, until you're burning a flag, spitting on it. No respect. And I think they should raise a law. You in this country, respect this country. You want to walk in here with Puerto Rican flags, Russian flags, Hamas Israelite flags? It shouldn't happen. Go over to Russia and try that. Go over to India and try it. Japan and try it. You might get it up, but they're going to bring it down for you. And the laws and the rules have been lax too long. People have voted for Trump to step in. He got rid of the border problem in less than a month. That stuff stopped. Zero interest on the border. Biden said it couldn't be done. Kamala said they're working on it. Working on what? You say it's not going to happen. It's not going to happen. They have tried every avenue, all these over 200 something judges. Every time Trump's tried to do something, working on stopping that too. They've tried everything. So now they're going to infiltrate the military with seditious acts. I mean, you got to give it to the Democrats. They are really an evil group of people and are trying everything in their power. Trump said he is to cancel all Biden's executive orders, 162 executive orders, 745 proclamations, 382 other presidential documents. The auto pen as we know it is just a pen. No more auto. So the Akeems and the Shifty Shifts and the Waters and all the rest of them have been deemed safe from this and signed by this. The signature is void because Donald Trump says he's hereby canceling all executive orders. Anything else that was not directly signed by crooked Joe Biden, the people who operated the auto pen, did so illegally. People Donald Trump is bringing out crushing news. Crushing news. And it's news that is attacking our very industry. It's news that is bringing us totally up to date on what is happening. And anybody that is not working his rules and is working 100% to nullify crime and justify the cases that are against people, you too will feel the wrath. I told you the last couple of days here, in the last couple of months, has been a book of history. All that has happened with James Comey, Letitia James, has been dismissed, and said to believe Pam Bondi and Cash Patel, and the chief of staff are looking into payoffs on these cases. Trump is also looking hard at Susie Wales and Pam Bondi. These cases should have gone through. And he's working on this along with everything else that is coming up. But they're going ahead and moving ahead and working on the hearings of seditious acts. As I said before, Joe Bonagino had his falling out with Bondi at the beginning of the Trump overseas. So we know that there was problems there that Joe Bonagino, I used to watch his podcast all the time. He's to the point. A lot of people didn't like that, but he was to the point. This man sacrificed $2.5 to $3 million a year from his podcast to do the job for America. There's going to be an all-out war against the activist judges. Elon Musk is putting money into finding what is going on. He cut these active judges apart and find out why things are being covered over. And I know we've heard about the Minnesota judge that has overturned a case of jurors who convicted $7.2 million in taxpayers' money. This person was proved to exhibit fraud, and they were proved guilty by the jurors, and the judge has overturned the case. These are the things that makes you go, Usually when the jurors convict a person, what the judge does is convict the sentence of time. Also, news has come up of Biden housing illegals at the airports. I brought this to your attention. Now, this is also under investigation. So people, there's a lot of illegal things that are happening every day. We have a serious problem with George Soros. And where he can't go, his son has been taking an active duty in pushing the NGOs and the terrorist organizations, not losing stride and point in trying to destroy what the Democrats call democracy in America. There are a lot of things that has gotten Trump on the PO trail. He's pissed off at a lot of things that people are getting away with, and there are no arrests being made. So we have to see what transpires on this, because the laws are changing drastically. And we want to be on the upside of it. So this is why I say to make sure you aren't just getting your news from a TV channel who's going to cover for the Democrats. But one of the best things Elon can do was to open up X to give true, transparent news. I wanted you to take a look at some of the things that are being discussed on TV. And as we enter this quantum leap of apocalypse in this world, have you gotten a narrative? Have you figured out the maze? Which way are you going to go? What are you going to stand for? How are you going to elevate yourself up? And I like for my audience to always think of that. Every day, every minute of your life. What are you going to do better to better yourself? What does it take? Do you see a successful way out? Because money is not everything. It definitely helps, but smarts is another, and God is the ultimate. Let's take a look at this, y'all.
I'm not one of those people like you that think, oh, it's really healthy for the country if you have two strong parties. Get out of here.
You said you think that pass. You think it's good for the...
I want to burn your village and steal your women. Metaphorically speaking, I want one of those great stretches where it was like Reagan, Bush, and if it wasn't for Ross Perot, it would have been 16 straight years. That's what I want, and that's what I expect. And that doesn't mean I'm saying red wave.
Yes.
Let's just be clear. The Democrats right now are at a messaging retreat in Virginia. They're just trying to trick you. What do they stand for? What do you stand for, Democrats? Do you even stand for fighting climate change? Because you're torching Teslas and you stole all the money from the Green New scam.
Those were the progressives.
Do you stand for education? No, you shut the schools down and you don't even talk about test scores. Do you stand for health? Look at yourselves. Obviously, you're not Maha. Do you stand for border? Do you stand for public safety? Obviously not. Do you stand for the middle class doing well? No. Bidenomics, cost of living. You're okay with factories in China and Canada and Mexico. You've done nothing about it. The Democrats don't stand for anything. They don't even stand for progress. You've said it, Greg.
Yeah, they don't even stand for the flag.
They can't even build a reservoir or a railroad or any electric charging station. Greg, it is so bad. They are making an 82-year-old woman look like Fraggle Rock and dance for donation.
That's pretty sad. And ask yourself the same question. What do Democrats stand for? So far from what I've seen, They stand for taking money. There is no equality. Controlling and hatred. There's never been a stronger group of people that have pushed the moral of hatred, have pushed the idea of harm, have pushed the idea of actually scheduling hurt on people, putting targets on people, assassinating people. And if you think Big Papa is lying, you know I'm right. They actually rejoice over Charlie Kirk, excuse me. They rejoice over that, and they still are doing it. We didn't have time to grieve this person's death. Not at all. They went out all borderline on it and enjoyed it. So, what do they stand for? You have to stand for something. And so far, my people, there's been nothing that I can compute that they stand for. Do you know that thousands are facing an eviction in North Washington? People are waiting in line. People are gambling and waiting that the government will pay or pay back to them rental assistance. It's been a scheduling nightmare for their lives. People in their late 40s, middle 50s. The same people who were standing up for immigrants, standing up for people who were not vetted in this country, standing up for people who were taking our taxpayer dollars and abusing them, standing up for people who hated the very fiber of America. And now that a lot of government jobs have been dropped and a lot of jobs are being replaced by AI, these are the people that I told you didn't save, didn't plan ahead. And people, it's cold up there. Lines lined around buildings after buildings. But you know what the tragedy is? The tragedy is the foreigners aren't standing in line. They aren't waiting for housing. They're not standing in line for food. They aren't without phones to call and find a job. They're not without clothing. But over the time, Americans who are at $38 trillion in debt, America's losing over $2 trillion a year. Programs like SNAP, housing, food, medical are all on the fence. And the fence is getting wobbly because it's not made to hold the programs. It's made for you to jump over. Or it's made to maintain a boundary. But the foreigners have pushed the fence over and walking it free. Now your subsidies have been all taken. And this is what I'm saying to y'all. You got a little touch up about SNAP when the government was shut down. Y'all going back to giggling and laughing and having a ball. People, that is a warning sign. And Americans are so slow to finding out things. The foreign people you're fighting for are united. They're abusing our system, food, housing, medical, has been plainly seen with the Somalians. And these are one of the worst group of people using autism, extorting the elderly and kids to the tune of 400 million taxpayer dollars. And we keep going against the law to protect them. So is it right that you guys are standing in line for food and suffering when the very people who you protect are living it up in the same city? Americans, I hope you wake up. Hey people, this is Stealth Community. Again, please like, love, and share the channel with others. And we always here for you. And I'll see you on the next one.